Hello friends, welcome back to another crypto analysis. We'll cover my predictions for Bitcoin, Solana and Stellar. So today is the 16th of February and we had basically the markets, especially for Solana, they are way too bad right now. They are cooked. And we see that everything that just transpired today and in the last few days, I predicted and I told you it will happen, okay? So the chart you're looking at is the Bitcoin chart, okay? So I told you that for these days, for today and yesterday, we could expect red days because there was the circle right here, especially containing today and tomorrow possibly. But tomorrow seems like it's going to be a very volatile day because we have these share energies. The day is shared by opposite energies. So remember, this is a very important volatility pattern that I always talk about. So it's going to be possibly a very volatile day tomorrow, or at least more active than today and yesterday. Today we basically see a dip from basically a slow dip. You can see that where the price begins to where it ends, it's not really that much, 1%, almost 1.5%, something like that. For the day of yesterday was basically another range day, even less active, basically the same position. Okay, there's literally nothing to talk about yesterday and basically very little about today. So I was expecting a more powerful crash, especially for today, but it really didn't play out. And I was also expecting volatility for yesterday because the same pattern right here on the 17th also shows, or is also shown on the 15th. So I was expecting some volatility for that day. Basically 2 consecutive range days again, part of this massive yellow circle right here. Remember, yellow days are either volatile or they stay in range, and that's exactly what we saw in many of these days. So for tomorrow, like I told you, expect a very volatile day, or at least a more active day. There's also the possibility of seeing green days by the 18th. However, by the 19th, we can see another dip, possibly a very hard crash. If that does happen, we can see maybe 5% loss, something like that. Right now, we're seeing that over the course of basically almost the entire month, we see Bitcoin is basically staying within range, non-stop. Okay, some days are more active than others. Some days offer more better short or long opportunities respectively, but it's basically an entire massive range right here. So that's why many of these circles, many of the days are actually in yellow, with the biggest circles are both in yellow. So everything that has been transpiring, I just predicted, guys, weeks in advance. So it's very good. This is very profitable if you're going long, if you're going short, or if you're providing liquidity for any pairs of cryptocurrencies. So this is the case for Bitcoin. Now let's take a look at Solana. Solana is the worst performing cryptocurrency right now. It's taking a very heavy hit after the massive scam that the president of Argentina pulled with LIBRA. So that happened, I think, on the 14th of February. And ever since that day, it's non-stop correction, okay? You see that unlike Bitcoin, which had a complete range day for the 15th, for Solana, we see basically a correction. A slow dip, but nonetheless, it's a red day, unlike Bitcoin. Okay, it had the possibility of being more volatile because, again, the same day shared by opposite energies. But the one that was more active is today for Solana. You can see a much stronger correction on the 16th. So where it starts to where it's currently at, it's basically around 5%. So it's a very It's not the end of the world, but it's a hit. Solana is taking some losses right there. Again, all of these I predicted, guys. Okay, it's no coincidence that you can see that the same red days appear on both the Bitcoin and Solana charts. And Solana is taking a much heavier hit because of the massive extraction, liquidity extraction, the rug pull that LIBRA represents for the entire Solana ecosystem. But it's also because there's a lot of bad actors in Solana, lots of scammers in Solana. Sadly, is the blockchain with the most scammers. Even though I really like Solana and it's the one that I use the most, even though Binance is really surging right now, I see lots of volume in some of the meme coins. So maybe we can see a revival of Binance. If that's the case, I will have to predict more Binance movements. But yeah, that's the case for Solana, and let's take a look at the final prediction, which is the Stellar prediction. So you can see that Stellar, why is it not loading the prediction, guys? What the frick? Oh, this is XRP, yeah. Yeah, this was XRP, yeah. This one is Stellar. Okay, so we can see that for Stellar, we see basically complete range for both of these days. Okay, so we see that Solana had the worst. Both today and yesterday were red days. Bitcoin had only a red day for today. But Stellar had basically no red days except maybe the 15, only a little bit. Again, like Bitcoin and like Solana. So yeah, very little movement right here. Around 3% maybe. This is the current, yeah, something like that. Not really that amazing or really surprising or really incredible to talk about. But today it completely avoids a red day because, guys, remember I told you about this in the last video. Okay, I told you that because Stellar had such a massive divergence, because these days 15 and 16 both are extremely red on Solana and Bitcoin, but Stellar did not show anything of that sort. Completely the opposite. We see green days for today and yesterday. So we see that it completely avoids the correction and instead it stays in range. Okay, I told you that could be one of the most likely scenarios for Stellar because I was I didn't really see a nice pump coming and the other cryptocurrencies crashing. More like I see that maybe Stellar could have the best performance, and that translates into maybe not having a correction for that day, which is exactly what we got for today. So good for Stellar because it completely avoids a correction, even though it was not an active market day, basically nothing to be made of, no profits, no nothing, basically just an entire range. But still it was really good for Stellar to avoid this correction. So the best performing cryptocurrency today is Stellar, okay, XLM. So for the next days, again, I expect more yellow days for Stellar, 17, 18. So maybe it will continue doing better than other cryptocurrencies which have, I think, reds coming. But the red right here is on the 19 because the 19 was also shared by other cryptos, and right here it's telling me that it could be a volatile day, trending downwards, and there's some worrying about these days 21, 22 could be very volatile. But yeah, we'll have to see, guys. We'll have to wait and see because there's still quite some time left before we get into this range of days. So having said that, I just want to remind you all to subscribe, like and share if you like these trading signals, if you like this knowledge, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.